What's up, guys? Welcome to the Metal Roofing Channel. Welcome to Q&A Mondays. If you are considering buying a new tech machinery portable roll former for your standing seam metal roofing or wall business, it's important to choose the right profile tooling sets that matches your market needs. So in today's video, I've got Tom Laird from New Tech Machinery to help me out. Thanks for being here, Tom.
Always a pleasure, Thad.
So we're talking about what profile should I look at if I'm trying to buy a new tech machinery roll former. And there's a lot of options, right? So if I'm a business owner, how am I gonna know which one to pick? That's what we're talking about today. But first, I'd kind of like to hear, hey, what profile options are available? What do you guys typically sell when it comes to your, variety of panel machines?
Well, we offer 3 different standing seam metal roofing machines. Anything from our entry-level SSR multi-pro junior machine to our mid-level SSH kind of residential light commercial roofing machine, all the way up to our big daddy, the SSQ3 roof and wall panel machine. The first thing that I'll talk to customers about, or the first things that I'll try to find out from them, is what type of roofing work are they doing now? Are they focused on residential roofing? Are they focused on commercial roofing? Are they doing a mix of both? Kind of what percentages do they see themselves doing? Because that's going to give me some idea as to which route they might want to take, how much metal roofing work they're doing on a monthly, weekly, yearly basis, because that'll help determine what's going to meet their needs best. Our smaller machines, the SSR and the SSH, are more residentially based machines, which means that they're going to do standing seam metal panels with a leg height of 1.5 inches or less. When you get into the SSQ3 machine, it can do any of those smaller residential panel profiles that we just mentioned, as well as commercial profiles such as a 1 3/4 inch snap lock, a 2-inch mechanical seam, a 2.5 inch trapezoid profile, and some specialty panels like the board and batten vertical siding panel or a flush wall soffit underdecking panel profile. So that's kind of where I like to start the conversations with customers.
Okay. Well, let's take it from the perspective, we're looking at an SSQ3, so, we've got all the options available to us. What factors should influence my decision? If I'm looking at a panel machine and I'm looking at the list of profiles, how am I going to choose the right one?
Well, first off, kind of know what's going to be popular in your specific area of influence. Whatever region you're working in, kind of have an idea of what you've been installing or that you've seen other metal roofing companies installing on their projects. That's probably going to give you a pretty good idea as to what's going to be the demand in your specific region. A lot of roofers will have an idea of a specific panel profile that maybe they want to introduce to their customers, or they feel that they've worked with the most in their business, and that's going to obviously steer them in that direction. But we do offer some profiles in that SSQ3 machine that are not necessarily standing seam metal roofing profiles, but can be very popular and add a great deal of potential business to your company when you're purchasing such a machine.
So, and when I think about factors that influence the decision, I'm thinking of, my current capabilities. As far if I'm doing the install, what are my crews used to installing? Are they able to do mechanical seam roofs? Am I going to need a seamer? There's a lot of questions, as far as my crew's capabilities. And then also, what else does my market need? You were talking about, roofers might want to introduce a new panel profile to a marketplace. If I'm looking at all my competitors and they all have the same 2 profiles, maybe there's another one that I could introduce to differentiate myself. So there's a little bit of that market research required as well.
Oh, absolutely. And while I completely agree with you that it always is nice to be able to differentiate yourself from your competition somewhat, you also have to make sure that whatever route you decide to go with there is going to be somewhat profitable for you as you move forward. Or you're going to have the knowledge and experience to be able to convince your clients to go with something that might not be the norm in that region.
Yep, totally. And I think another factor is testing and engineering that's available. If you're in an area like Florida, you're going to have to deal with local building codes.
Absolutely. That's one of the key things that we talk to customers about all the time is the testing and where they obtain that. The testing does not come from new tech machinery. We are a machine manufacturer. So we rely on our coil partners such as Sheffield Metals to be able to assist those customers with the next steps of their journey. There's going to be certain residential jobs, and depending on what area of the country you're working in, where you might not need any sort of testing to back up that panel profile. But it's becoming an increasingly common thing, regardless of where you're at, that engineers, architects, homeowners are going to ask for some sort of certification or testing that the roof that you're putting on for them is going to meet specific needs. So that's where the testing comes into play. And again, with the way the world is shaping up anymore, it's going to be a more and more prominent aspect of the business.
Absolutely, yeah. And another thing that I like to think about is if I'm an installer, what types of buildings are these panels going to be going on? Are they lower slope buildings? Because if so, I'm going to be looking at mechanical seam versus snap block. Is it commercial with open framing? Well, I'm going to be looking at a 2-inch mechanical versus an 1.5 inch mechanical. There's a variety of things there. What buildings am I actually going to be installing these panels on?
Absolutely. And that's kind of where we get into that residential / commercial / industrial type of panel. Because if all you're doing is residential work and you're dealing with typically higher sloped roofs, your 1.5 inch mechanical seam, your 1.5 inch snap blocks, your 1 inch snap block, 1 inch mechanical seam, those are going to be great for those types of applications. It's when you get into the lower slope or the structural type panels, as you mentioned, that are going to dictate kind of having the larger leg profiles such as a 2-inch mechanical seam or a 1 3/4 snap block.
From a little bit of a different perspective here, let's say I already own a machine. Is it a good idea for me to think about adding another profile to my lineup?
Well, absolutely. And that's kind of the beauty of any of our machines. They're all multi-profile capable. Our smaller machine, the SSR machine, and that mid-level SSH machine are capable of doing up to 7 different panel profiles, all standing seam related, whether it's a 1 inch mechanical or 1 inch snap block, up to 1.5 inch mechanical or a couple different styles of 1.5 inch snap block. When you get into the SSQ3 machine and that SSQ series, which we've been making now for going on 18 years, the SSQ3, by the way, is brand new, only was introduced just a few months ago. It's just the latest and greatest iteration of our award-winning line of SSQ roofing and siding machines. But when you look at that SSQ machine, it has the potential to open up other avenues that you may not have looked at previously as a roofing company. Siding panel profiles, such as that board and batten panel profile that I just mentioned a few moments ago. That profile has taken fire, and we introduced it about 2.5 years ago, and it's been an incredible seller for us, and it's opened up so many different markets for our customers to be able to offer siding in addition to that metal roofing. Another one that I like to bring up quite often is that flush wall soffit panel profile. We make it in a 1 inch and an 1.5 inch version, and it can be used, again, as a soffit profile with vented perforations that allow you for a vented soffit application. And then it can also be used as an underdecking panel profile, which I always like to tell roofers, if you haven't thought of that yet, you're doing these jobs and you're on top of roofs and you see these people with these giant decks on the back of their house. If that deck's not sealed on the bottom side, they're losing valuable storage space, potential extra living space for their home. All they have to do is seal off the bottom of that deck. And that's a perfect application for that flush wall soffit panel profile.
And another thing is, if I'm a roofer doing commercial work, let's say, and I'm seeing jobs that are being put out that I could bid on that I just don't have the profile yet, I could potentially look at those jobs and have the ROI returned to me very quickly just by purchasing a single profile for that job.
Absolutely. And again, that's part of the beauty of having multi-profile machines, that you're not kind of restricted in what you can do with those machines. Those machines can grow with your business. And as you have different business opportunities arise, you have a machine that's going to be capable of meeting your needs now and in the future.
So kind of boiling it all down, it sounds like the most important thing is to think about the market you're going after, the buildings, the roof panel or wall panels are going to be installed on, and then where you want to take your business into the future. That's going to kind of help direct which profile you should get for your machine.
Absolutely. And I can't stress enough the importance of doing your market research ahead of time, or at least once you've decided that you think a roofing machine is going to be the next move for your business. Let's talk about it. Let's see not only where your business is today, where it's going to be in 3 years, where it's going to be in 5 years. I talk to many customers that are like, look, I'm going to stick strictly in the residential sphere. I'm not going to touch any commercial type of work. That's not the business I want to do. That's great. That kind of helps me to guide you in the right way with the machine that's going to best meet your needs. But it's funny when we talk to customers, a lot of times they're like, well, I hadn't given it that much thought. I don't, tell me why I might want an SSQ3 machine. And it's easy to explain to them that this is a machine that's going to work for you today, but it's also going to grow as your needs change too. And so those are the kind of things that it's important that the customer does put that thought and research into it before they talk to us, or once they start talking to us, to understand it better. It's easy for me to tell you the profiles that I sell the most of, or that are going to be the most popular profiles. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the right profile for your business or your region. So that's why it's important that each contractor that's looking into taking this leap does a little bit of due diligence to spend that time to make sure they know what they're getting themselves into now and in the future.
Yep, you bet. All right, Tom. Well, hey, man, I appreciate it, and I thank you for your time. Always love talking about the details with you.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime. I'm always here to help.
I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please comment down below or visit SheffieldMetals.com. We have a lot of content talking about different profiles when it comes to testing, engineering, region popularity, and how to choose the right one for your business. So subscribe here to the Metal Roofing channel if you haven't already. As always, I'm Thad Barnette. We'll catch you next time.